I'm sorry that Monster Zero isn't exactly what we were expecting. But we opened Pandora's box, and there's no closing it now.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 dumbest decisions in the MonsterVerse.
We're still going to that crash site.
3 birds, 1 stone.
You caused all of this.
If by all of this you mean I, and I alone, have given humanity a chance against the Titans, then yes, I will own that title.
For this list, we're looking at choices made in this cinematic universe that came off as colossally misguided. In case you're not caught up on all 4 movies, the spoilers are going to be huge. What decision would you have made differently? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Splitting up. Godzilla.
I can text Sam.
No, Ford's on his way.
You change your mind. The bus is leaving 10 minutes.
Come on, where are you, Ford?
As San Francisco is evacuated, only clinical patients and children are being taken to the shelters. Elle thus stays behind and puts Sam on a bus with a coworker.
She's gonna look after you just for a little bit. Daddy's gonna be here soon, and I'm gonna just come get you right after. I promise.
It's a difficult decision, but Elle assumes Sam is safe. There are 2 things we've learned from monster movies, though. Never split up and avoid national landmarks. And wouldn't you know it, the bus needs to travel over the Golden Gate Bridge. While the bus narrowly escapes a close encounter with Godzilla, Sam came this close to going down with the bridge. To be fair, Sam still would have been in jeopardy had he stayed with Elle, but having his mother around might have made this ordeal a little less traumatic. We suppose it worked out regardless. Number 9. Playing with fire. Kong, Skull Island.
Yeah, you smell that? That's death.
As Hank Marlowe warns everyone, crossing through a gravesite that literally smells of death is a big no-no.
This place is a real no-no, sir.
Despite the foreboding fumes and massive bones, Packard insists on pressing forward.
I've only been here 28 years, what do I know?
We guess we could justify this decision if the characters were extra careful. Instead, Cole chooses now of all times for a smoke break, and his discarded cigarette triggers an explosion.
Cole, we don't got time for that, man. Put the cigarette out.
Although Randa condemns Cole for his ineptitude, he isn't much smarter. Turns out that using a camera with a loud flash isn't the best idea.
Oh, shit.
By the time Randa realizes this, he's already in the Skullcrawler's mouth. At least Weaver saves the day by throwing a trusty lighter into one of the vents. Maybe she should have been the one on flamethrower duty. Number 8. Not building another orca. Godzilla vs. Kong. King of the Monsters introduces the Orca, a device that allows people to communicate with the Titans, and, in some cases, calm them down. The Orca can be a deadly force in the wrong hands, and even in the right hands, it doesn't always have the desired effect. With some more research and refinements, though, the Orca could be the ultimate link between humans and Titans. After the Orca is destroyed, however, our heroes apparently do not consider building another one.
I'm sorry, Madison. This is bigger than just you and me.
While Gia is able to communicate with Kong through sign language, having a new and improved Orca on hand would have been helpful for when Godzilla enters the picture. Who knows? Maybe it could have been used to ease tensions and broker peace between the 2 Titans. Number 7. Cole's Sacrifice. Kong, Skull Island.
Cole, come on, man. We gotta fall back.
Go live your life. Get out of here.
Several MonsterVerse characters have made noble sacrifices that, in hindsight, could have been avoided. Sure, Godzilla needed a nuclear jumpstart, but maybe it would have been smarter to get another submarine with a functioning firing system. You know, instead of sacrificing the scientist who knows the most about Godzilla. Emma didn't need to drive off with the Orca to lure Ghidorah.
Cities around the globe have fallen under the weight of what many are calling the rise of the Titans.
She could have left it on the ground and flown off with her family before Ghidorah arrived. The most questionable sacrifice comes from Earl Cole, who decides to blow himself up with the Skull Devil. The monster is too smart for that, however. The Skull Devil doesn't take the bait and tail whips Cole away before he explodes.
Come on, son of a bitch.
At most, Cole's sacrifice bought his friends maybe 1 second. Number 6. Godzilla not using his atomic breath earlier. Godzilla. Most fans would agree that the best moment from 2014's Godzilla is the climactic battle where the titular king unleashes his kiss of death. It's the applause-worthy fatality we were waiting for. But why did we have to wait for it? Godzilla spends a good portion of the movie smacking the Mutos around. Instead of saving his atomic breath as his big finish, why not open with that attack? He probably would have won the fight much quicker. It's explained in a screenplay draft and novelization that the Mutos' electromagnetic pulses weaken Godzilla's atomic breath, although this isn't made very clear in the actual film. Weakened or not, Godzilla's atomic breath gets the job done. We don't see why it was his last resort. Number 5. Packard's Revenge. Kong, Skull Island.
We need to turn back. Toot sweet!
Not as long as Chapman's still out there.
I'm sorry, Colonel Packard. Chapman is dead.
After the Boneyard debacle, you'd think that Packard would wise up and start taking advice from Hank. Being the big, tough military guy in a monster movie, though, Packard doubles down on the stupidity.
Kong didn't kill Chapman.
But he did kill these men. My men.
Although survival should be the only priority, the Mad Soldier is hell-bent on taking Kong down to avenge his men. Even if Packard stood a chance against the beast, which he most certainly does not, Kong is the only force keeping the Skullcrawler situation under control.
If you take away a species' natural competition, they'll proliferate out of control. Then we'll end them too. After we bring this thing down.
I can't let you do that, Colonel. Wait, hold your fire!
While everyone else is eventually persuaded to flee, Packard would rather die than admit defeat. Accepting a fate that could have been easily dodged, Packard attempts to blow up Kong, but gets a fistful of hurt.
Die, you motherfucker.
Samuel L. Jackson should have learned his lesson from that shark encounter.
First, we're gonna seal off this.
Number 4. The Warhead Plan. Godzilla. In the first MonsterVerse movie, it's established that this isn't humanity's first encounter with Godzilla.
In 1954, the first time a nuclear submarine ever reached the lower depths, it awakened something.
They tried destroying Godzilla in the 1950s, but a nuclear bomb will not stop the king of the monsters. Hell, Godzilla feeds on radiation. So, when Godzilla resurfaces years later to face off against the Mutos, the military plans to wipe out all 3 monsters by using nuclear warheads.
Admiral.
Yes.
Please don't do this.
Although Serizawa and Graham point out the obvious, Admiral William Stenz approves the plan. Granted, Serizawa's let them fight strategy wasn't exactly ideal, but the warheads only make matters worse.
Let them fight.
The female Muto eats one, adding to the body count in the process. The other is used to make a nest, endangering even more lives. Number 3. Flying towards a giant ape. Kong, Skull Island. Word of advice. If you're piloting a helicopter and there's a giant ape, or really a giant anything on the horizon, do not fly directly at it. That monster will take you down with his bare paws. Either that, or he'll throw a tree, a human, or another helicopter at you. Don't bother firing your puny guns. Your weapons are useless and will only antagonize the beast.
Kill this son of a bitch.
On that note, dropping seismic explosives on his turf isn't advised either. Okay, so just to make sure we're all on the same page, you see a big ape, turn the helicopter around immediately.
Pull out now, pull out! I don't take orders from you.
Anyway, the characters here introduce themselves to Kong by flying at him, shooting at him, and blowing up his home. It doesn't go well. Number 2. Creating Mechagodzilla. Godzilla vs. Kong. theory, having a Titan-sized robot operated by humans isn't a horrible idea. It worked well in Pacific Rim. With Godzilla serving as humanity's savior, however, Apex head Walter Simmons wants to put humans back on top, but Mechagodzilla's mere existence infuriates Godzilla. Upon acquiring the Hollow Earth energy source, Walter unwisely activates Mechagodzilla without doing any tests.
We shouldn't rush this. We have no idea how this energy source will affect the mecha.
This results in Ghidorah's consciousness taking control of the mech. Walter not only pays with his life, but he also creates a monster that not even Godzilla can defeat alone. Fortunately, Kong is around to lend a helping paw. Come to think of it, why didn't Godzilla bring some other Titans for backup? He is the alpha predator after all. Before we unveil our number one pick, here are some dishonorable mentions. Going to Skull Island. Kong, Skull Island. Afterwards, let's go to Jurassic Park and play with the velociraptors.
You have no idea how dangerous this is. I want 5 times that. Plus a bonus if we make it back. If?
Ford telling Elle to wait for him. Godzilla. Dude, tell her to get out of Dodge ASAP and meet up later.
I'm gonna be at the hospital by sunrise. Then I'm gonna get you and Sam out. Okay. The military has a plan to deal with these things. I'm gonna get you both, okay?
Okay. Trusting Apex. Godzilla vs. Kong. Has a tech company in a monster movie ever been on the side of good?
What are you doing? Extracting a sample.
This is a power beyond our understanding. You can't just drill into it.
Actually, we can. My father gets what he wants. That's Apex property now.
Not listening to Hank. Kong, Skull Island. Sorry, but it really bugs us when Hank goes unheeded.
West? We can't go west. That's where those skull things live. We have an old saying here, east is best, west is worst. That's why we say it. You know, southwest? We can talk about that, but you're gonna need a lot more guns if you're gonna go west.
Transporting Kong via ship. Godzilla vs. Kong. You know Godzilla hangs out in the water, right?
Who's the idiot who came up with this idea?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Freeing Monster Zero. Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
I'm sorry. Run.
In a film that brings together numerous titans, the biggest monster is Dr. Emma Russell. As if putting her own daughter in constant danger isn't bad enough, Emma jeopardizes the entire world by releasing King Ghidorah. Not to mention Rodan.
You got a catchy name for this one?
Local legends call it Rodan, the fire demon.
That's comforting.
While Emma isn't the film's main human antagonist, a distinction that goes to eco-terrorist Alan Jonah, her reasoning is the most ludicrous.
I'm saving the world.
But by releasing those things, that doesn't make sense.
Emma believes that by awakening the Titans, the world can begin to heal from humanity's mistakes. As someone who was in San Francisco when all hell breaks loose, Emma should know that Titans can cause more damage in several days than humans have throughout the centuries. Even Emma eventually realizes the holes in her logic, but by then, Pandora's box is wide open.
This isn't coexistence. This is extinction.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.